Good morning to you, Nigel. Look, first of all, your reaction to what quite clearly is a human tragedy unfolding in the Channel now for the second time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed it hasn't happened before, quite frankly. I mean, this incident was reported at 3:40 this morning, so it would have been very, very dark out there. You've got two risks. Number one, the boats themselves are liable to deflate. They're so poorly constructed. And secondly, of course, you've got collision risk in what are some of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. So, yes, it's a very, very nasty incident. But I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it, frankly. At the moment, the last I've heard is definitely 3 fatalities. But I suppose the concern is that if now, nearly 6 hours after the initial report, there are still bodies in the water, well, we'll have to see what happens. All I can say right now is it doesn't look very good.
So, Nigel, politically, this is all over the front pages already. How do you think this tragedy will force the hand of Rishi Sunak into coming to terms with this?
Well, what he ought to do is to say to people very clearly that unless we stop people crossing, there will be more and more people that die. But I don't think of itself it makes much difference. I listened and I read what Rishi Sunak had to say yesterday. I mean, frankly, it's no different to what Boris Johnson said, and not much different to what David Cameron was saying about people who illegally come to Britain. It's all well and good, him saying, if you come via this route, you won't get asylum. Well, I'm afraid what you're going to have to do is get rid of the Human Rights Act of 1998, the Modern Slavery Act of 2015, and not take orders from the European Court of Human Rights. Now, if Rishi Sunak had said those 3 things yesterday, I might take him seriously. But it's a couple of times a year we get a Conservative Home Secretary or Prime Minister. They make these big speeches. The Tory-supporting newspapers say, isn't it marvellous? And nothing ever changes. I can't see it changing in the short term, I have to say.
Yeah, look, Nigel, it was just 13 months ago when 27 migrants drowned in November 2021. It was the worst maritime disaster in the Channel in over 30 years. Rishi Sunak, obviously 7 weeks into the job. Do you think that he will feel, or should feel, in your view, responsible? Is this a failure of government to sort this crisis out?
Well, absolutely. And apart from people dying, I mean, we got the shocking news last night that 70 children who've crossed the English Channel have gone missing from hotels in Sussex. 39 have gone missing from hotels in Kent. So whichever way you look at this, there are some dreadful things happening to people crossing the Channel. And we should be really hanging our heads in shame at much of what is going on. But nobody has got the guts to stand up to the fact that we've got legislation in place in the United Kingdom that makes this impossible to deal with. We have to change the law. It's as simple as that.